Is the mic on?
Yep.
Can you check the sound? Just make sure it's going through. Just double checking that you guys can hear us. I'm so excited. Are you excited? Actually, I don't know if anybody's there yet. Maybe somebody's there. If somebody's there, hello. We're going to be doing mindset work for success in just a second. Just have to like pull myself back and get professional about this instead of cutesy. But yeah, we're going to talk about mindset. We're not going to just talk about mindset. We're going to do mindset. Okay, we're going to actually do some work to actually change. But yeah, okay, I can hear myself, which means the sound is on. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to do mindset work today to actually change the way that you not just think about, yourself as a professional or think about your success or, whether or not it's feasible for you to achieve it. We're actually going to do work that's going to get into your heart set and your soul set, which is your sort of emotional system, kind of what your passions, your sort of mood, and the way that you feel about things with your work, your feelings of worth for like achieving the big goals that you want to achieve. I would assume that if you're here doing mindset work, it's because you want to achieve more success than you have enjoyed previously, which requires that we, level up, not just the way that we think. Okay, so it requires that we level up the way that we feel, our sense of self-worth, which is heart set, and also the our level of comfort with being successful to the degree that we want to be. So I hope that whatever that is to you, it's like wildly successful. So like getting into the comfort, being comfortable with that, and the confidence, having the confidence to make the moves necessary to, live like in the energy of that person, to actually live it, living it in the physical is actually on the realm of body set, which we're not going to get into. We're just going to get into mindset, heart set, and soul set. But I just wanted to explain this to you because I wanted to differentiate the kind of work that I do from a lot of the other kinds of mindset work. And I think all of the kinds of mindset work that are really effective and really good mindset work, they necessarily sort of get to the different layers of you. They get into heart set and into soul set, into your energetic frequency, into your emotion system, through the mindset work that they're doing. It's just not explicit. And I find that unless things are explicit to me, like I need to understand exactly what's going on, and I need to kind of thoroughly go through every single facet of kind of like personal development, like all of the layers to it to actually get into living my goals. So when we're talking about like professional development, like it's not enough for me to just like say some like affirmations and to think about being wealthy, or being successful, because when it really comes down to it, like I don't feel worth that level of success that like, is kind of beyond what I'm living in now. And for like my energetic frequency too, I wouldn't even be comfortable with it. I mean, like if you think about if you legit were hanging out with a bunch of people who made millions of dollars a year, and they were, not just kind of flash in the pan people, but like these were like, brilliant people who were uber successful, and just like being around these people, hanging out with them, going to their, multi-million-dollar homes and stuff, like would you feel totally comfortable? Like, oh yeah, these are my people? Honestly, Like, would you feel totally confident that, you know, these people are going to like respect you, and you know, you could be on the same level as them, as far as, you know, respect and worth? You know, do you think that you would like feel as um sort of free and able to like speak your mind and tell them how you feel and etc., and like feel heard and whatever? Like if you say yes, that's really, really great. If you're being honest with yourself, that's awesome. At this moment in my life right now, I actually do feel like I would be extremely comfortable. I would be confident around those people. I might be a little bit like, oh, you know, um, because it's kind of like where I want to be. So I might be like a little bit fangirling on people like that, you know, but right at this point, I feel like I would be comfortable. I feel like I would you know, be able to be in that situation with a sense of worth. I would feel like I should and would and could be respected and all that stuff. But that is, it ebbs and flows. At some parts of my life, I feel like, um, you know, around these people, or in that situation, I would feel small and insignificant. And like, these are the kinds of things that really keep people being small and insignificant. So like the fact that, you know, like sometimes I feel like I'm not worth you know, achieving a wildly successful level of like professional development. That is going to necessarily keep me from that wild success, because I wouldn't even be comfortable if it landed in my lap, you know, magically. If this, you know, manifestation stuff actually worked in my mindset, if I could do these mantras and stuff, you know, and then like wealth would just fall in my lap, I wouldn't even feel comfortable with it all the time. So like that necessarily creates a problem right there. And that's why we're going to do this mindset work, which is way more than mindset work. And if you've been following along in the previous weeks, we've been doing some foundational kind of work leading into this, explaining how, you know, I am and we are developing kind of a step-by-step process to go through all of the different layers of you, excuse me, so that you don't just think like the successful person that you are destined to be. Okay, I use the word destined kind of loosely, because just because you're, you know, destined, the best version of yourself is destined to be all the things that you dream of, does not mean that it is going to magically land in your lap. Maybe it will. There are some unicorns out there, and, you know, bless the unicorns. But for the rest of us, it's going to be a process of kind of disseminating all of the things that hold us back from that, or all of the things that would, you know, sabotage it if we got it. So that's the heart set, you know, not just thinking like the successful person, but feeling like the successful person, feeling like you're worth that, right? And, you know, not just feeling like you're worth, you know, success, but having the confidence and the comfort with that destiny, with that best version of yourself, to actually take the steps you need to take to achieve the level of success you want to achieve. So, in the previous weeks, we have gone through the 3 different layers of anchoring that I myself personally do that have dramatically affected the way that I operate in my business and as a professional. And I did not expect it whatsoever. And me sharing this with you was not something that I planned to do. It is like a result of me doing this work. It is a result of the different approach that I have been taking, because this work has just shifted the way that I operate in my business so dramatically for the better. Like everything is just like, and I'm like rushing to like keep up with it all. I'm like, is this gonna run away without me? Like, I was even late today. If you're on my email list, you'll know I was like 15 minutes late sending out the email, and usually that stuff should be scheduled and everything anyways, but like I'm still like just like my business is kind of like taken on a life of its own since I've been doing this work. So sharing it with you is very, very important. Okay, so if you've been with me for the past few weeks, you'll remember that we are doing the 3 different layers. We're doing like a mindset layer of success, which is your specific goals. So you need to have those at least in mind. Your specific monetary goals, your specific professional goals. So whether this is like a level of, a promotion level or an income level or a savings goals, whatever it is, like a specific kind of visual, measurable, that like SMART goal thing, specific, measurable, what is it? Actionable? Believable, anyways, whatever it is, make it specific, measurable, the visual kind of idea of what you want to achieve. And then we're going to also talk about the layer of heart set that is necessarily aligned with that level of success. So the feelings of worth, being being at that level of success, if it's like if it's like a profession or like a career that you want, or that income bracket, like feeling that your work is worth that. We're going to go through that layer, and the layer that we're going to start on is the energetic layer. So that is the soul set layer. Okay, so this is actually aligning your energetic frequency, your soul set, what I call your soul set, which is the filter by which the energy around you is coming in, and your energy is kind of going out into the world. Now this sounds all ethereal and etc., but this is it. It is. Have you ever walked into a room when everybody's been talking about you? Yeah, okay, so energy is absolutely real. Have you ever, like, if you could walk into that room, everybody's been talking to you, have you ever felt like shrunken? Like, oh my gosh, and you got super self conscious and you were really uncomfortable and you didn't have the confidence or whatever? Versus if you walked into that room and everybody's been talking to you and you're like, oh yeah, okay, and you just completely own yourself with like the confidence and the comfort in yourself, and then you see people kind of starting to squirm and feel bad about what they were doing. That's energy. Okay, it's real. You absolutely need to be aware of it, and it absolutely changes situations. So you go, yeah, anyways, we won't get too far into that. I trust that you understand at least like a little bit, if you're here, that energy has a like big impact on how you're received. So the writing work that we're going to do for the soul set layer, for the energetic frequency, is how you will be received, how you will carry yourself, the energy of being that successful person, being at those goals that I talked about, the specific goals, which we're going to get to later, and actually living it. So what that looks like. So if that is like being respected by your peers, if that is actually like having a really engaged audience, which is something that like full disclosure here, like I've struggled with a lot because I've like completely almost ignored social media, and a lot of times, whatever, screw my excuses, I've super struggled with having a really broad engaged audience. I have been okay with like having a small engaged audience, but like the channels that I have like broader audience on, it's been very difficult for me to sustain that, and that's me, right? Like that's like my energy, like how I'm being received or how my brands are being received, right? So that's like definitely something that I personally work on with this anchoring. So I want you to, first off, we always date everything so that we can stay accountable to doing this work. And it's November 1st today. And then we're going to speak in the affirmative, so in the positive, of easily achieving, maintaining this level of, respect and confidence and comfort in this level of success, as well as how that is being received. So the energy of how that is being received, the respect, the camaraderie, the kudos, the response that you get from that level of success. Okay, so the second part of this layer is we're going to talk about what we are willing to give for that. So, in that situation where, if you walk into an uncomfortable situation, it could be just that you promise to show up like with comfort and self-acceptance in every situation that you encounter, even if, you encounter adversity. Or it could be something specific, like you're going to show up on social media like consistently. Or maybe it's that you will, show respect to everyone in the workplace, or, you'll be a great leader, or whatever it is. Okay, so that is the soul set layer. We're working up. We're going to go into the heart set layer now. So this is actually feeling worthy, working on your level of worth at this level of success. So again, dating to keep accountable. Completely gosh on the word. We're dating it to keep accountable because this is the kind of stuff that we need to do on a consistent basis. And why we need to do this on a consistent basis is because right now, every single day that we do this, we're kind of scratching the conscious mind, okay? But there are layers of mind, and your conscious mind is like it's a tiny percent. And within your conscious mind, the amount that we actually use within the conscious mind is like another tiny percent. So what we're doing with this, if you just did this once, it's like it makes a tiny little impact. And it could make actually a big impact on your day. But I mean, there's 365 days in a year, and how many years, in your life. So when we do this on a consistent basis, what happens is that anything that we do on a consistent basis are habits that actually, if you look at like Aristotle and Plato, they say that like that is like your character. You build that into your character. And if you're looking at like my theories, that is actually getting into your unconscious. And that's why it gets into your character, becomes, the person that you are. Because it actually delves through into the unconscious. And when you hear like manifestation people tell you to like put emotion behind, like feel the feelings of your success or whatever, that is their sort of indirect way of trying to address the subconscious mind. So the subconscious mind, in my view of it, in according to my theory, the sustainable dreams theory, the subconscious mind is actually like a communicating interim between the unconscious mind and the conscious. So your feelings, you can work, top down by kind of evoking the feelings of being in that success through your conscious mind, kind of visualizations and stuff. You work into the feelings, which will send messages into the unconscious mind. It also works bottom up. And what I teach in my programs is how to address or how to recognize what's happening in your unconscious mind, because that is the overwhelming majority of what is going on in your body, your life, etc., your character. That is like the overwhelming majority is unconscious. So getting to know what's in your unconscious mind is necessarily requires you to work with your emotions, because they're sending messages up. So I don't remember what the point of that was. But okay, because we are doing these layers, the layers that we're working on, it is necessary to continuously do it, because the continuous habit of doing it, the repetitiveness of it, that is how your unconscious programming began in childhood, through your family, through your culture. Your beliefs were made this way, your character was developed this way. So when we consistently show up and do these habits over and over and over again, we are affecting our unconscious mind, that big friggin' elephant in the room that is, running your life, that you can't really tame with direct means through the conscious mind. So this is actually a direct mean through the conscious mind that you can actually affect this. But what it takes is that you show up and do this repetitively, which is why I am here every Monday at 10 a.m. PST and 1 p.m. EST. So join me. In the heart set layer, we are going to talk about our idea of worth. So whatever you feel like you need to feel in order to get to the success that you want, like whatever kind of like represents you feeling worthy of the success that you want, or kind of whatever ideas you need to embrace in order to feel worthy. So an example for me, what I kind of envision is all of like my idols and these people, maybe even people that aren't my idols, but I just think are cool because they show up in their life in a certain way, or they show up in their careers in a certain way, and they get paid like incredibly just for showing up. Whether this is like, I follow a lot of models that I love, or what is it? John Legend, and I don't even know her name, Christy something. This is like, she's not like an idol of mine, but they actually really inspired me. They're really open about sharing how their lifestyle goes and stuff, and how many members of staff and how they cook and whatever. And so it was like kind of easy to imagine, these people like John Legend and his wife sort of showing up. She's a model and she has a cookbook, and she seems like a really cool kind of person as far as I know. And like these people showing up to work and being paid like exceptionally well, so that they don't need to work all that often. They get to enjoy their lives, etc., etc., etc. This is something that I think embodies like the kind of level of feeling, the level of worth that I want to be at, that would kind of create the success that I want. So whatever that means for you, like whatever kind of embodies that sense of worth, I want you to, again, in the affirmative, start writing about that being easy for you. This could also be the freedom to create as well, the freedom to express yourself. That is also a really, really big part of the heart set layer. Being able to do your work, right? Like your unique work, your message, your purpose, all of that is heart set layer. So maybe, your feelings of worth are even just being able to show up, feeling worthy to show up as you are, fully, and create, the profession of that aligns with you. You're the best version of you, feeling like the fierceness to be able to show up like that, express yourself in that way. And again, we are then going to write about what we're willing to do in order to enjoy that level of worth. You're doing great. Now, this is the last part. This is, it's not the most important part, but this is typically what you would get in kind of a manifestation course or whatever. But the reason we do it now is because now we have built the foundation in order to put the cherry on the top and burst through into, creating this wild success for ourselves. So now we're going to talk about, we're going to write about easily generating the level of wealth or success that you want. So for me, this is, it's an income goal as well as a savings goal. And if you're going to do two, let's split them up. So, just phrase it that you easily generate whatever level of success you wish to achieve. And then again, we are going to state what we are willing to do in order to achieve this goal. Okay, awesome. I hope that you enjoyed this. I think Dougie was supposed to be watching for comments, but that's okay. He didn't do it, but I will respond to anything that I see on there. You can always write me on whatever social channel you are on. If this is on Facebook or YouTube, I'll be able to respond to the comments when I get off here. If it's Instagram, you can always DM me because this will disappear. But I had a really good time, and I'm really glad that you joined me. And if you like this, you can join every Monday at this time. I also do a live anchoring kind of mindset, holistic mindset anchoring for wellness on Wednesdays at the same time with my brand Uproots Wellness. And on Fridays, we're just starting for lifestyle and relationships. We're doing anchoring from my brand Lovely Lifestyle on Fridays at the same time. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys next time. And for now, I don't have any call to action for you guys. I'm just happy to be here, and I'm happy I made it on time. And I'll see you guys next week, okay?